Hey, all you wonderful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joanne Hughes. I'm an intuitive lifestyle strategist, and today I want to talk to you about a concept that I feel is one of the most important things to consider when working with clients, making any kind of change or transformation in our life. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into it. The mind-body connection. That's what I want to talk about with you today, and the importance of that when working with clients, making any kind of change or transformation in your life. Because truly the mind cannot work without the body. It doesn't exist without the body, and the body can exist without the mind. So I wanted to talk about weight loss because I believe weight loss is a wonderful way to demonstrate how the body mind work together. You know, when someone decides to start a new exercise program or to start a diet, they usually jump into it, hit the gym hard, and they, go at it with enthusiasm, and a week later they walk away. So why is that? Well, it's a perfect example to show you how the body works can't work without the mind, and vice versa. So when anyone starts, they want to start a weight loss journey. They utilize the body by creating movement, by going to the gym. And then they also utilize the body by changing their diet. But there's more things actually with weight loss too, that are a little more complicated that I want to touch base on. It's kind of a little bit off topic here, but still all works together. So with weight loss, as I say, people do exercise and diet, and those two things are great. But there's another aspect to it that people don't consider, and that is your agni, or digestive fire. If your digestive fire is low, your chances are you're not going to lose weight. You'll have a hard time losing weight or inches because your metabolism is running really low. So you have to consider that. So the very first thing that I would do, again, this isn't the topic, but if I was going to start a weight loss program, I would evaluate your digestive fire. So usually, typically, when we have more body fat around our belly, we have bigger bellies. That's most likely because we have ama, or toxicity, in our gut, and our metabolism is slow. So there's a couple of tips I'm going to give you now. One is to incorporate ghee into your meals. So ghee is clarified butter. You can find it in stores. If you have an international food section, it would be there. And ghee is actually considered a medication in Ayurveda, and it is one of the most healing things to utilize for your digestive tract, and it's very soothing and calming. So you can incorporate ghee in your daily food or diet by either putting it on bread in the morning, or when you have vegetables, you can put ghee over your vegetables to oil them lightly, and this will help with your digestive fire. Also, grating ginger, taking a spoonful of ginger, grated ginger, with a squeeze of lime and a pinch of Himalayan pink salt on it, will also help stoke that digestive fire. Okay, that was just a side note. So back to the body mind connection. So again, when we go on a diet, we do the exercise and we look at our food. But one of the things that you have to consider, as well as your digestive fire and the kind of food you eat, you can also look up your dosha, DOSHA. In Ayurveda, there's 3 doshas, and you need to eat according to your dosha. So that's another thing to look up. But you also have to bring in the mind. So if you have thoughts that play over and over again in your mind, telling you that you're not worthy, that, oh, why start? You're going to give up anyways. I look like a fool. Whatever story that you tell yourself that you've taken on as a belief in your mind, you have to also consider that and change that. Because if you're going to the gym and you're, eating, let's say, salads and changing your diet up and go and exercising, but your mind is continually sabotaging you, it's not going to work because you're going to give up. So looking at our mind and what our thoughts are. And I always talk about the three things that also change that can shift any problem or transformation is looking at our thoughts, because our thoughts create our emotions and our emotions drive our actions. So it's really important to consider our mind and then look at the body. So fixing our digestive fire first in terms of a diet is a place to start. Looking at what foods are best for our biocharacteristics and our energetic bodies, and then looking at our mind and evaluating the thoughts and the beliefs that we have within our mind. Those three things or four things will help you to create any kind of change. So, for instance, when you're working with a client and your client wants to heal their heart, or they want to, work with clients and they're working with clients, but they're not getting clients, or they're having a problem financially because they seem to do the same thing over and over again and nothing ever changes. It's not enough just for them to be doing the actions. If you're just doing actions but you're not engaging the mind and looking at, again, our beliefs, our traumas, our thoughts, if you're not considering those and looking at the mind, you're not going to be able to create change for that client either. So let's take another example of someone that is stuck in a job. They see themselves as stuck because no one is ever stuck in a job, but they perceive that they are stuck at a dead-end job, not making enough money. They don't like their boss or the people that they work with, and they want to make a change for themselves, but they don't know how to do that without and before giving them any steps to, or strategies to move forward in uh, making steps towards getting another job, or becoming an entrepreneur, whatever it is for them. Before even looking at the steps that they're taking or what steps that they have taken, you have to evaluate the mind first, because anyone that comes to you and says that they feel stuck, that's a mindset problem. There's thoughts or belief, there's a story that they're attached to that's playing continually in their mind. And I've talked about that in other videos before, that our thoughts, we have so many thoughts in our mind today, and they're always playing on autopilot. So we're not even aware really of these thoughts. And so really our actions are driven by this unconscious plethora of thoughts in our head a day. So evaluating the thought or their perspective of why they feel stuck is the first place. Because if you don't change that, the actions are not going to reflect new changes. So that's another situation. So really, if we look at the body too and look at illnesses or disease, we can look at and start with the mind. So I have a method that I use. I call it the Evolve method. And it really is for people to be able to look at, because it's a body mind mapping and assessment map. So they're mapping out their body, their full body, lying down on a piece of paper. It's a really simple process, but a very deep and meaningful process that really, really shoots people forward and completing, healing their journey of symptoms and disease, and helps them to push forward. So it's looking at the energetic body. So our thoughts are energy. And the energy of those thoughts then will hold space within our body, because we know it's been proven that our body holds wisdom, holds trauma, and which then manifests into a physical ailment. So looking at the body mind, looking at first the body and examining where what symptoms we have in the body, what kind of pain we're holding in the body. And when we're looking at where that pain is held within the body, that is a blockage. And when that's blocked, it does prevent us from being able to shift and move out of that block. So really looking at all of those symptoms in the body, then going to the mind and really evaluating, okay, when did this symptom start? When did I start getting headaches? What was going on in my life? So evaluating everything from thoughts to the physical symptoms in the body, and also to the vibrations in the body, because energetically, if you're as well, you have these symptoms, but energetically you have very low vibrations. You're not motivated. You don't have energy to do things. You want to sleep in late. You have a hard time getting up. You have a hard time falling asleep. All of these things have to be brought into consideration, and it will not work unless you look at the body and the mind um, balanced, equally looking at the body and the mind. And so when all of that is mapped out, when you're sitting there and you're looking at this big full-size drawing of the body, and where you're holding all your pain and all your symptoms in the body, then you start to evaluate your thoughts and energetically what was going on in your life at that time. The other day when I posted my day 5 of my visibility challenge, I listened to a lot of my blog talk radio shows. And unfortunately, the platform changed, so I lost a lot. But I believe I still went back 7 years ago or 6 years ago. And really, I was able to look at 6 years ago in my life, what was going on at that time. And I could really hear the energy and vibrational changes in my voice. So therefore, I knew I could tell what was situational in my life at that time and what was happening and how I've changed and shifted over the years. And so it was a really, really cool experience. But being able to fully understand where your beliefs are, what your core beliefs are, through your mind, through cognitive behavior therapy, really looking at our defense mechanisms that we incorporate every day into our life. Our defense mechanisms start in the mind and then go down, work their way down into the body. And, which also in turn creates our perspective, looking at our life as being stuck or having money, but feeling like we're always broke and, not being able to keep money there. I mean, all of those have to be started to look at things through the mind first, because it does start off in a mind, in a belief, in a mindset, in a past trauma that happened, in relational structure. All of those things really affect how our lives work. And, if we're going to make any kind of change in our life, people I see often are struggling with making that change. And they see themselves as, either there's lots of people that are in survival mode that are just trying to stay afloat or clawing their way to the top, when really they're in this deep, deep pit of despair and struggle. And um, unless you change your mind, unless you examine the thoughts and the beliefs and the stories, you're not going to be able to create any physical action, because action comes from the body. And the thoughts are controlling the actions of the body, right? Because the thoughts create those emotions. And depending on what that emotion is, it's driving your actions. So, again, that's why the body can't exist without the mind, and the mind can't exist without the body. So the best ways that I know how to show you how to move forward, or help your clients, or help yourself in creating shifts of change and transformation, is sitting down, taking out a pen and paper, and starting with your mind. Looking at the thoughts that you hold, looking at the beliefs, and looking into your vibration to the energetic body, feeling, even when you're around people, and looking at your energetic field, what people, how close you allow people to get, how comfortable you are with people coming into your energy fields. All of those things are working together synergistically, and you have to start with the mind, and then you can work your way down into the body, into the action, evaluate that. But once you're able to shift your mind and those thoughts and change them and create a different belief, then you're going to be able to shift your actions and create new actions and pathways. It really is an amazing thing. And it's a wonderful thing that hopefully you will consider now, and hopefully you've learned something. So thank you so much for watching me today. That's all I have to share with you. Have a great day, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.